He was 72, woke up at 6 a.m. like he always did, reached for the glass of water he'd left by his nightstand the night before, just like every other morning. Nothing seemed unusual. He walked to the porch, sat down, watched the birds, but at 8:07 a.m., he collapsed. No chest pain, no warning, no signs. His daughter found him 10 minutes later, unconscious. And the most disturbing part? The doctors couldn't find anything wrong. His heart was fine. No stroke, no blood clot, nothing. Just gone. What happened to him? What went wrong between the moment he drank that glass of water and the moment his body gave out? I'll tell you this. As a doctor with over 40 years working with seniors, this isn't the first time I've seen it, and it likely won't be the last. You see, most people think drinking water first thing in the morning is always a good thing, and in most cases, it is. But there's a hidden side to this daily habit, a side nobody talks about, a side that could silently harm your kidneys, your blood pressure, even your heart, especially if you're over 60. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most dangerous mistakes seniors make when drinking water in the morning, and more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to avoid them. Because the truth is, it's not just what you drink, it's how. And once you hear this, your mornings may never be the same again. My name is Dr. Samuel Green. I'm 71 years old, a retired physician, and for over 4 decades, I dedicated my life to working with seniors, people just like you and me. People who've lived full lives, raised families, built careers, survived losses, and carried stories in their bones. And over all those years, I started noticing something strange. There were those who followed all the rules. They exercised, ate well, slept early, and yes, they drank water first thing every morning faithfully. But oddly enough, many of them still ended up back in my office or worse, in the emergency room. Dizziness, sudden blood pressure crashes, fainting spells, kidney issues. And at first I couldn't understand why. I thought, maybe it's just age, maybe it's just coincidence. But something didn't sit right, so I began digging deeper, patient by patient, morning routine by morning routine. Until one day I realized it wasn't about what they were doing, it was about how. You see, drinking water in the morning is powerful, but like any powerful habit, if done the wrong way, it can slowly wear down the very systems we're trying to protect. And most people don't even realize it's happening. That's why today, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to empower you. I want to give you the knowledge I wish every one of my patients had. The small adjustments that can make a huge difference in how your body feels, how your heart functions, and how your brain stays clear and steady each day. So if you're over 60 or caring for someone who is, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to go through 5 hidden but dangerous mistakes seniors make when drinking water in the morning, and how a few simple changes could quite literally change or save your life. Let me tell you about a man named Lawrence. He was 68, recently retired, full of life, full of curiosity. Like many people his age, he had started paying more attention to his health. One day, he read an article online that claimed drinking 1 liter of water immediately after waking up could flush toxins, boost metabolism, and cleanse the body. It sounded healthy, logical. So every morning, without fail, he'd wake up, head to the kitchen, and gulp down nearly a full bottle of water in one go. At first he felt fine, refreshed even. But over time, something changed. He began feeling lightheaded in the mornings. Sometimes he'd feel a strange pressure in his chest or a sudden cold sweat. One day, after finishing his usual water ritual, he stood up to grab a banana and collapsed on the kitchen floor. When he came to in the hospital, the diagnosis surprised him: hyponatremia. His sodium levels had dropped dangerously low. Now, here's what most people don't realize. Our bodies are made to process water at a certain pace. When we drink too much water too fast, especially first thing in the morning when the body is just waking up, we risk diluting our blood sodium levels, overwhelming our kidneys, and triggering hormonal stress responses. Seniors are especially vulnerable. Why? Because as we age, our kidneys slow down, our electrolyte balance becomes more fragile, our bodies don't bounce back as quickly from sudden shifts. So, what should you do instead? Start small. In the morning, drink one glass, about 200 to 250 milliliters, slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. Let your body adjust. Let it absorb. Then wait at least 30 minutes before you drink more. Think of it this way. Your body is like a garden waking up after a long night. You don't flood it with a hose. You gently water it, little by little, one sip at a time. Hydration isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And when you honor that rhythm, your heart, your brain, your kidneys, they all thank you. So the next time someone tells you to chug a liter of water the moment you wake up, remember Lawrence, and remember that more is not always better. Now let me take you to a winter morning in Minnesota. It was 5:45 a.m., snow still fresh on the ground, and I was visiting one of my longtime patients, Mrs. Peterson. She was 76, vibrant, kind, sharp as a tack. That morning, she welcomed me with a glass of water in hand, filled with ice cubes. I raised an eyebrow, gently asked, "Is that what you usually drink in the morning?" She smiled. "Oh, yes, doctor, it wakes me up better than coffee." That's when I sat her down and explained what I'm about to tell you now, because this is a mistake more common than you think. You see, when you wake up, your body is in a gentle, sensitive state. Your core temperature is lower, your digestion is dormant, your blood vessels are slightly constricted after hours of rest. Now imagine what happens when you suddenly pour ice-cold water into that system. It shocks your internal organs. The cold triggers a constriction of blood vessels, which can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, especially dangerous if you're prone to dizziness or heart rhythm issues. It also slows down digestion, stiffens the stomach lining, and puts unnecessary strain on the nervous system. Some seniors report nausea, chills, or even headaches, not knowing it all started with that cold glass of water. The worst part? If you're already on blood pressure medications or have circulation issues, this cold shock can lead to fainting or heart palpitations. So what's the safer choice? Room temperature water, or even better, lukewarm water. Gentle, calming, body-friendly. And if you want an extra health boost, squeeze a few drops of fresh lemon or a slice of cucumber. It helps stimulate digestion and alkalizes the body. Drinking warm water first thing is like starting a car on a cold day. You don't slam the gas pedal. You let it warm up, ease into the day. Let your system wake up naturally, not violently. I saw Mrs. Peterson again a month later, no ice in her water, and she said something I'll never forget. "Doctor, my body doesn't flinch anymore in the morning. I feel softer." That's the kind of change you don't see in blood tests, but you feel it deeply. There's a woman I remember well, Eliza, 74 years old, elegant, always wore a blue shawl and had a voice like warm tea. She'd been managing her thyroid condition for years, along with osteoporosis and mild arthritis. Her routine was meticulous. Wake up, drink a full glass of water, take her thyroid pill, wait 30 minutes, then take her calcium supplement, then ibuprofen for her joints. She thought she was doing everything right. But one morning she called me in a panic. Nausea, stomach cramps, heart pounding strangely fast. We brought her in, and after several tests, nothing seemed conclusive, until I asked her one simple question. "Did you take all your pills on an empty stomach with water?" Her eyes widened. She had no idea that the very thing she thought was healthy, drinking water first thing in the morning, was amplifying the side effects of her medications. You see, not all medications behave well on an empty stomach, especially when taken with plain water. Some, like thyroid hormones, actually require an empty stomach and water to absorb properly. But others, like calcium, iron, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, can irritate the stomach lining if there's no food to buffer them. In older adults, this irritation builds up silently, causing inflammation, ulcers, or unpredictable spikes and crashes in absorption. And worse, when you take multiple medications close together, the water can act like a slippery slide, pushing everything too fast through the system before your body can even process it properly. It's like throwing all your laundry into the washer at once with 3 kinds of detergent. It just doesn't work the way you hope. So what's the safer way? Step 1. Know your meds. Some require an empty stomach, like thyroid pills. Others, like calcium, magnesium, iron, or painkillers, do better with a little food. Step 2. Space them out. Don't take multiple pills all at once just because it's convenient. Give each one its own moment. Let the body absorb, rest, then move to the next. Step 3. Listen to how your body responds. Nausea, cramping, fatigue, even brain fog in the morning might not be from age. It might be your water and pill timing clashing silently. Eliza adjusted her schedule. Thyroid med first thing with a small glass of water, light breakfast, then calcium an hour later, ibuprofen only after food. 2 weeks later, the nausea was gone. Her energy returned. And she said something that stayed with me. Doctor, I never knew timing could change how medicine feels in my body. Most people don't. But now, you do. Let me tell you about Carl. He was 79, a former engineer, practical, precise, and never wasted a thing. He had this habit, kept the same plastic water bottle on his nightstand for weeks, sometimes months. Rinsed it once in a while, refilled it from the kitchen sink or the big jug in the garage fridge. He thought it was smart. Why throw away something that still works? But over time, he began experiencing odd symptoms: fatigue that wouldn't lift, dizzy spells in the afternoons, and a strange taste in his mouth he couldn't explain. At first, we checked the usual suspects: blood pressure, medications, diet. Everything looked fine. But something about his story made me ask, Carl, tell me exactly what you drink from every day. When he showed me the bottle, I knew instantly. It was an old, cloudy plastic container, scratched, slightly warped from sunlight worn around the mouth. That bottle had become a silent leech, releasing microplastics and chemical residues like BPA into his water, day after day, sip after sip. You see, many common plastic bottles aren't made for long-term reuse, especially the thin, clear ones we buy at convenience stores or in bulk. They break down over time, especially when exposed to heat, light, or even just frequent opening and closing. And while the amounts they release may seem small, in an older body where detoxification is slower, those chemicals linger longer. BPA, phthalates, and other plasticizers are endocrine disruptors. They interfere with hormones, fatigue your liver, and can even affect mood, memory, and heart rhythm. It's not just about being eco-friendly. It's about being body-friendly. So what should you use instead? Glass bottles, stainless steel containers, BPA-free, food-grade, reusable water bottles, and wash them regularly. Treat your water container like a part of your health routine, because it is. Think of it this way: if you wouldn't eat soup from a rusty old pot, why drink water from a degraded bottle? Carl switched to a glass bottle. Nothing fancy, just a mason jar with a lid. Within 2 weeks, the dizziness eased. Within a month, his energy returned. And one afternoon he told me, "Doctor, I never thought something so small could make such a difference." But it does. In health, it often does. The smallest choices, done daily, shape the way we age. And what holds your water holds your health. This is the mistake even doctors rarely talk about. It's quiet, invisible, and slowly draining your strength without you even realizing it. I first noticed it in Margaret, 81 years old, a former teacher, sharp-minded, but always tired. She drank water all day, from filtered pitchers, bottled spring water, even fancy purifiers that claimed to be the purest in the world. But she kept coming in with leg cramps, headaches, foggy thinking, and sometimes even irregular heartbeat. Her blood work looked average, not terrible, but not vibrant either. One day, as we were chatting about her morning routine, she said, "Doctor, I'm proud of how much water I drink. I even cut out coffee." And suddenly it hit me. Margaret was doing everything right except for one thing. She was drinking water that had been stripped of its minerals. You see, most filtered, distilled, or even bottled water today is what we call dead water. It's clean, yes, but too clean. It lacks the trace minerals, magnesium, potassium, sodium, calcium, that our bodies quietly depend on to function. And when you drink large amounts of this kind of water daily, especially in the morning when your cells are craving electrolytes, you actually begin to flush out what little minerals remain in your system. Over time, this can lead to subtle but real problems: fatigue, muscle cramps, slow digestion, mental fog, mood swings, even hormonal imbalances, especially in seniors whose bodies no longer retain minerals as efficiently as they once did. So what's the solution? Simple. Remineralize your water. Just a pinch of Himalayan pink salt or sea salt in your first glass of the day, or a few drops of high-quality electrolyte concentrate. Not enough to make it salty, just enough to bring your water back to life. If you prefer natural options, add a slice of lemon or a few cucumber rounds, or a couple times a week, drink mineral water from a trusted source, not just filtered, but naturally rich in trace elements. When I shared this with Margaret, she was skeptical, but she tried it. Within a week, her cramps lessened. Within a month, she told me, "It's like my brain woke up, like I've been living on empty water all this time." And she wasn't wrong. Water is not just about hydration. It's about cellular communication. Minerals are the messengers, the conductors, the whisperers of your internal symphony. Without them, the body doesn't sing. It stalls. So if you've been drinking more water but feeling less energy, this may be why. Reconnect your water to the earth. Let it carry the quiet strength your body remembers. You won't just hydrate, you'll heal. They say water is life, and they're right. But after more than 40 years in medicine and more than 70 years of simply being alive, I've learned something deeper. Water isn't just life, it's memory, it's rhythm. It's a reflection of how we treat ourselves when no one is watching. And each morning, when you wake up and reach for that first glass, you're not just hydrating your body, you're setting the tone for your entire day. Are you rushing, forcing, ignoring the whispers your body's been trying to tell you? Or are you pausing, listening, honoring the quiet wisdom that aging brings? Because by now you've learned, health is no longer about doing more. It's about doing it right. It's not about drinking a gallon of water. It's about how you drink it, when you drink it, and what you put into it. Small things, gentle things, but powerful. And if there's one thing I hope you carry with you after today, it's this: your body is still listening to you every day, even now. Especially now. You may be 60, 70, 80 years old, but your body still responds to love, attention, rhythm, and care. So tomorrow morning, When your feet touch the floor, when your hand reaches for that glass, pause, breathe, sip slowly, feel the water move through you, and know that in that simple act, you're not just surviving another day, you're choosing to live it well. That choice matters more than you think. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 water mistakes surprised you the most? Was it the cold water, the mineral loss, or maybe something you've personally experienced without even realizing it? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you know someone, a parent, a friend, a neighbor who's over 60 and trying to stay healthy, share this video with them. You never know. A simple change like this might save them years of struggle. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Not because it helps me, but because it tells the algorithm that senior health matters. That knowledge like this deserves to reach more people. And finally, as you go about your day, I invite you to carry this thought with you. Hydration is not a habit. It's a conversation with your body, your cells, your future. So listen well, drink wisely, and take good care of yourself. You've come this far, and you're still writing your story.